Have you ever wondered why humans sweat in the first place? And why this simple liquid has such a bad reputation? On a hot day, during exercise, or even before an important exam, your body starts producing sweat as if it is responding to something urgent. Yet most of us see sweat as an annoying thing that should be eliminated, while the truth is completely different. If sweat suddenly disappeared from humanity, life would not become more comfortable. Instead, we would face a serious problem that could threaten our body's ability to function normally. So the real question is not only why we sweat, but why the body needs this process at all. Sweat is a fluid produced by tiny glands spread throughout many parts of the body. It is made mostly of water, along with small amounts of salts and other compounds. When your body temperature rises because of hot weather, physical activity, or any energy-consuming task, these glands begin producing sweat, which reaches the surface of the skin. As this liquid evaporates into the air, it carries away some of the body's heat, gradually lowering your temperature. It may sound simple, but it is actually one of nature's most efficient cooling systems. The human body is like a complex machine that constantly generates heat, and sweat is one of the key mechanisms that prevents this machine from overheating. But here comes a puzzling question. If sweat is so beneficial, why do people dislike it? Why is it associated with that unpleasant smell we try to hide using deodorants and perfumes? The surprising fact is that sweat itself has almost no odor. Yes, the liquid coming out of your body is not the real culprit. The problem begins after it reaches the skin. Millions of bacteria naturally live on our bodies. They are not always harmful. In fact, many of them are a normal part of the human biological system. When these bacteria feed on certain substances found in sweat, they produce volatile chemical compounds with strong odors. Those compounds are what we actually smell. In other words, what we call body odor is not really the smell of sweat itself, but the result of the activity of microscopic organisms that we cannot even see. This leads to another fascinating question. Why does sweat smell different from one person to another? And why do some people seem to have a stronger odor than others? Research suggests that several factors are involved, including genetics, diet, physical activity, and even the specific types of bacteria living on the skin. Every person has a slightly different biological environment, which means the resulting odors can vary significantly. Certain foods, especially heavily spiced meals, as well as daily habits, can influence the compounds released by the body and ultimately affect the final smell. Even more surprisingly, the body does not produce sweat only when it feels hot. Have you ever noticed your palms becoming sweaty before an important meeting or during a stressful moment? This is where the brain enters the story. When a person experiences fear, anxiety, or psychological pressure, the nervous system sends signals that activate the sweat glands. It is as if the body is preparing itself to face a challenge, even when no physical danger is present. That is why you can start sweating while sitting in a cool room simply because your mind is experiencing stress or anticipation. But why do we feel disgusted by the smell of sweat in the first place? One scientific theory suggests that the human brain evolved to be sensitive to certain odors that may indicate the presence of bacteria or unhealthy conditions. As a result, feeling repulsed by some smells may be an ancient survival mechanism that helped humans avoid potential sources of disease. However, the perception of odors varies from person to person. A smell that one individual finds unpleasant may not bother someone else to the same degree. This shows that odor is not merely an objective reality, but also an experience interpreted by the brain in different ways. In the end, when you think of sweat as nothing more than an annoying inconvenience, remember that it is actually working for you, not against you. It is a highly sophisticated cooling system that keeps your body temperature within safe limits and allows you to run, work, think, and adapt to the challenges of daily life. The smell we dislike so much is simply a side effect of a complex interaction taking place on the surface of the skin. Perhaps sweat is one of the best examples of how something that seems unpleasant at first glance can actually be essential for survival. So the next time you see drops of sweat on your forehead, ask yourself, is this just water? Or is it evidence that your body is carrying out one of the smartest processes designed to keep you alive?